On the set for a second. We're about to start part F. We're about to F and start. Okay. Okay. Now, start. Are we rolling? Okay. So, for part F, and this one is a big deal, what's going to be different than what you see on the practice test is I'm going to have horizontal lines that are going to be provided on the graph. And so we're going to start with yeah, I did a great job. Well, I'll try to, I'll put the Q there. And this is, how's it marked on the side? And this, we've given a G. And we will have a whole bunch of straight lines, which I will do in blue. That's going to be great. It's going to take me longer to draw these straight lines. Oh yeah, great straight line. Okay, here's this one. Now see if we're sure it can do it. Some people love the camera. This is a good thing. The thing I like about doing this is I get to talk with the thing in my mouth. I think I'll keep it there for the rest of the thing. Yeah. We should whistle, whistle, whistle. Okay. So, you're going to have, let me take this out of my mouth and talk. Okay. You're going to have something that will look sort of like this. It's going to have these lines on there. And what you're going to have to do beforehand and work it out a rough draft in pencil and think it through. We're going to have room for the starting material, the product, we're going to have room for all of the wells and all of the transition states. And so the best way, first you got to strategically figure out, well, how much room do I need for the wells? Well, look at it over on the right hand side of the test. I give you delta G naught for 1, and I tell you what 1 is. It's the AB3X. And 2 is the intermediate, the first intermediate. 3 is AB3 plus Y. It's another intermediate. And then 4 is AB3 Y. I don't give you the delta G naught for that. I give it to you in the beginning of the problem where so the reaction has a delta G naught of minus 10 kilojoules per mole. So that means I have to have at least 10 kilojoules per mole below 0, and I have the starting material is delta G naught of 0. So I'm going to need at least a range of 10 kilojoules coming down. And I'm going to have to be able to go up as high as the highest one in here is AB3 plus Y, which would be the third intermediate, or the second intermediate species, and that is 10 kilojoules above. So if this was 5 and this was 10, and this is 5 and this is 10, that would be the well, the highest well. But then above this highest well, how far do I go? delta G double daggers are measured from the well preceding it. So delta G1 double dagger, it'd be going from, if I pick this to be my, I'll take this to be my 0. See how it works out. Just roughly. If this is my 0, and each of these are 5 kilojoules, I've got 5, 10, 15, 20. This isn't going to work. Okay? So this is going to be my 0. And that means that, oddly enough, my last well is going to be down here at the bottom. So I don't have enough lines here on this one. You will have enough lines on the one on the test.
Are you going to provide a graph on the
yes,
test?
it's going to come with lines like this.
Oh.
But I'm not going to have this detail in here. So but the first thing is I want to note, if this is 0 and these are all 5 kilojoules, this is 0, I'm going to mark all the wells over here. This is 0 for the species 2, for the first intermediate species, it's got to be 5 kilojoules, so this will be 2. Well, this is 5 kilojoules. And then the next one is, number 3 is 10 kilojoules. So that's 10 kilojoules. And then this is going to be minus 10 kilojoules. So I'm going to be in a little bit of trouble at the end here, but I'm going to draw it this way because I don't want to redraw these lines. Okay. You will have the luxury of a pencil and an eraser and the ability to figure this out in advance. So this is my range here. Now for my double daggers, the first transition state is going to be how many kilojoules above. We have that over here, 15 kilojoules. So if I'm starting here, my first transition is going to be up here at 15 kilojoules. Okay? So if my first well is here, my first transition is here. You see what I'm saying? And so I've got up to 15 kilojoules, and now the second transition state is 20 kilojoules above a ground state, above the ground being this well, so it's going to be 25. So 10, 15, 20, 25. So my second double dagger is going to be up there for the rate determining step. And then my third double dagger is, what was it, 10 kilojoules above 10 kilojoules. So it's going to be at 20 kilojoules. So now I'm going to start looking for making my wells. My wells, I'll draw the wells first. This is going to be my first well. And then the next well is at 5 kilojoules above it. So I'll draw that here like another happy little smile. And then the next well is at 10 kilojoules. I have to have a little room in between. And then the last well is at minus 10 kilojoules. So if I go about this far, it's down here. So I've done all my wells. Okay? And this is going to be 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this is 4. So I've got all my species and my wells taken care of. Now I want to draw my transition states. The first transition state is at how many kilojoules? 15 kilojoules? So I'll go 5, it's above this point. So 5, 10, 15. So my first one's going to be right here. Okay? So this one's the top, it's the coal of the point. My first one is here. This is going to be my first transition state. My next transition state is at 20 kilojoules above this point. So I go 5, 10, 15, 20, it's got to be way up here.
How did we come up with 20?
1 second.
From these for sure.
It was from the numbers provided at the very beginning, from those numbers. You see those ones up at the top of the problem? Yeah. Okay. So that gives me double dagger number 2. And now my third transition state, delta G number 3, is 10 kilojoules above this, which would put it right about here. Okay? And now all I have to do is start connecting all of these wells.
It's the fun part.
Is connecting the dots.
Can we make a different colors like that?
If you like. But I would use in pencil so that you can erase. I come back down here, I'm shooting for it, let's see how good I am. Okay. That's not too bad, I've drawn worse. Okay? So I want you guys to practice this, doing just what I did. First locate the wells, and then locate the transition states. And preferably you'll have enough room, and I'm almost going to guarantee, in fact I'm going to guarantee you're going to have enough vertical lines so you're not going to have to cheat like I did and use the bottom line as -10. So you should be able to fit it all on the page. Practice with the practice test on a separate piece of paper. Okay? And you could even make out your grid lines. And practice drawing this. And so you have all these features where they belong. And now we have to note a few of the features, which is what is delta G1 double dagger, which I will do in blue, just for fun. Okay, I shouldn't do it in blue, I'll do it in black.
Is there another color in the drawer down there?
Well, these all, I think, are showing up okay, so I'll use this. Delta G double dagger 1 is the difference between this well and the first transition state. So it's always from the well to the left to the transition state. And delta G double dagger 2 is the difference between this well and the next coal, the next transition state. And number 3 so we've got all those features, and now the last thing you want to have, and I'm just going to extend this line, and I'll extend this line here, and that this is delta G naught for the overall reaction. Now you want to start talking about points. There's all of these wells, that's 5 points. All of the coals, that's another 5 points. The double daggers, oh, I left out the 3 subscript. That's another 5 points. The delta G double daggers is another 5 points. How many points is that? 5, 10, 5, 10, 15, 20 points. And then I guess the delta G, so about 25 points. And then the graph, we have to make it about an even 30. Big point question. What?
We'll take it.
And this is something that, with a little bit of practice, you understand what everything is, if you understand all the given information and how to represent it graphically, I'm a happy camper. Okay? From the point of view of somebody who's going to be grading this, these are the features I'm going to be looking for. Okay? Is everybody good with, does that cover? Yeah. I think we got it all. That covers the first part of F.